See you, man. Oh, holy moly.
Okay, let's roll right into our post-race for today's inaugural STP 400 at Kansas Speedway. Our race runner-up is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He drives the number 88 Amp Energy National Guard Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Dale, certainly a valiant effort out there for you. It was awful hot out there, but moved up to third in points. Only 1 point out of second right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got lucky at the end on fuel mileage to get second place. We ran real good. We found some speed at the end of the last practice, and the race started. The car was pretty good, and we worked on it. I think we made it even better in the race, and we worked our way. Man, it's so hard to pass here. So hard. It's just awful hard to pass, and worst I ever seen it. And so starting where we did, it just wasn't easy. And we finally got to, right outside that top 10 and was looking good for the last 100 laps. And I went to searching for some more speed and busted my butt up there in a 3 and 4 and cost us all the spots we worked for all day. But it also gave Steve the chance to play the strategy game, and where you got to, when that caution came out that we came and got fuel, we put ourselves in a one-stop scenario where everybody else didn't pit. They can't give up the track position because it's so hard to pass. So they stayed out there knowing they'd have to come down a pit road twice, and that was the gamble we took. And the race could have had a caution and changed everybody's strategy, but worked out for us and ranked green to the end. We had a good car. We didn't have a second-place car, not at all, but we had a top 10 car, and it was so hot out there today. I mean, I felt fine until I got stopped. And I don't know how everybody else felt after that race, but it worked on me pretty good.
Okay, questions for Dale. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll start right here with Kenny.
Kenny Bruce from SceneDaily.com. Dale, you seemed almost apologetic that you finished second.
Yeah.
But when you look back at guys that make the chase and contend for championships, they're the guys that are able to bounce back from issues like you
You're
had
right.
today and get those. So
Yep.
you've got to feel good about that aspect of it.
You're right. And when I get home by myself, that's how I'll think about it. But in the grand scheme of things, I got a lot of people that are there's a lot of people who remind you throughout this sport of how fortunate you were and how how lucky you were and all those things. So I'd like to beat them to the punch and let them know I realize how fortunate I was today to get second place. But you're right. I mean, we just keep doing. We've had some runs where we drove ourselves into the positions where we finished. We finished well by running well and by getting lucky, and that's what championship teams do. And you always scratch your head when Jimmy and them guys look like they're out of it. Next thing you know, they turn around at the end of the race and they're right there in the middle of it, and you're like, how in the world? So now I guess I'm on the side of that fence. I see some of it and see why it happens. But it's just we're just rolling the dice, man. That's all it was. You know how the dice is. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it don't.
We'll go to Dave and the young lady in the back, and then we'll go upstairs. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dale, Dave Rodman, NASCAR.com. When you were racing Denny for the position, did you feel like that potentially was for the win?
Yeah.
And how much pleasure do you draw out of the fact that you were able to outrace somebody who's got as much at stake in the big picture as you do?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I did feel like I was told that was the race for the win, and I genuinely believe what Steve was telling me. I didn't think the two would make it, but he saved a lot of gas. I mean, he did a great job. And I was faster than Denny the last 100 laps of the race. There was a stretch where we were running. I could tell I was running him down. I'm sitting there running, behind the 9, the 43, and all those guys pretty much all day long. But throughout a tire run, I'd come off a 2 and look in the corner, and I'd start seeing guys up in the top 15, top 10 that I was running down. I'd see more and more of them as the run went on. So we had a great car. And it was fun racing Denny. I don't get to race him too much.
Take a question right here, and then we'll hear from Denny, and then open it up again. Go ahead.
Dale, after a race like this, how long does it take you to recover?
Ma'am?
After a race like this with the heat and everything like this, how long will it take you to recover fully?
Probably till tomorrow. I mean, I want to lay by the pool and drink some amp and vodka and whatever. So I'm probably chug a lot of water tonight, so I'm hydrated for tomorrow. I heard drinking pickle juice is good for you, but or Pedialyte. I don't know.
Pedialyte.
Is that right? I'll give it a shot. I got some of that.
Okay, we'll hear from Denny Hamlin now and keep Dale here as well. Denny Hamlin is our third-place finisher in today's race. He drives the number 11 FedEx Freight Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Denny, talk about your run out there this afternoon here at Kansas.
If you get 1.5 in you before weekend, you're set. Way to go. Excuse me?
Just talk. It's fine. Just talk about your afternoon out there today.
It was good. It was a good day for us. Obviously, not a fluke run by us. We ran up front anyway during the course of the day, but I think we were running third when we came in and decided to pit on that caution where I think all of us pitted to try to make it with one more stop. So it was a great run by us. We had something with our front end gave up midway through the race anyway, and so we were struggling for speed from that point forward. But we pretty much made our bed into a fuel mileage race, and so it worked out for us.
Denny moves up to spot to 11th. You're one point out of 10th right now, so continue to move up. We'll take questions now in the press box for either Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Denny Hamlin. Go ahead, press box.
One thing during the race you said, I'll be surprised if this heat don't get me. It's pretty damn hot. Was the car just so good that it just kind of got you fired up? And also, where'd you go for yesterday?
Oh, I went to Oklahoma Joe's because it was on Man vs. Food, which is a show I like. But it was good too. I stood in line. It was a long damn line, but I stood in line longer than it took me to eat. But it was good. I thought, about 60 laps in the race, the cars come out, and I was just real hot. And I said, I just thought, I was like, I'd be surprised if this heat don't really bother me by the end of this race. But they threw a couple of wax bags in there, and that helped out a ton. And plus, we had something at stake at the end of the race, which would get anybody up on their seat. And I felt fine till I got out.
Go ahead, press box. Other questions from the press box?
The one in the gas station, 20 minutes from here.
All right, let's
Ain't
go
that the
back
closest one?
downstairs. Questions? Let's go Kenny and then KC Starr right here. Go ahead.
Denny, on one of the restarts when you were up front, Kurt made a move inside to make it 3 wide with you in the middle and Tony on the outside. And then a little bit later after that, a couple of laps, Tony got into the back of you. It looked like going into one of the turns. Was that when your front end of your car was giving up, or what was going on there?
Yeah, it was. That's why we decided to pit, because we had to make an adjustment anyway. But, yeah, I mean, I think Tony was upset with us, but the 22 actually knocked me into the 14 on the restart, so I was kind of a ping-pong ball there. So it's kind of a victim of my own self getting in the way.
Let's go right here.
Todd Palmer, Kansas City Star. You guys have raced a lot here in October, in the last several years. Well, just assess the track today. Did you like having this extra weekend out here at Kansas Speedway?
I liked it. I mean, I like coming here. But it don't like the heat. But the track don't like the heat too much. You had to run dead against the apron. If you was off the apron by 2 or 3 inches, you was in trouble. Just no grip. But I kind of like that because a lot of guys ain't smart enough to do it every lap, and I ain't either. But I think I'm more consistent than some, and it makes for a pretty good race. There's some guys running around the top, and there's a lot of room. But it's real slick, but that's fine with me.